Okay, let me do a rapid fire book list of what I would recommend. The first one is going to be The Will to Change by Bell Hooks. I think this is a phenomenal read that everybody should read. Also, I'm going to recommend Communion by Bell Hooks, and I would read them in this order as well. Then, of course, I would recommend All About Love. I do want to preface and say All About Love, it is a heavy read, right? And so just, you know, you've been warned. It is a heavy read, but it is a life-changing book. Now, focusing on more like human sexuality and sensuality, I read a book called Radical Pleasure. That was a phenomenal read. I actually got the recommendation from here on TikTok. And then the second book I would recommend would be No Holes Barred by Manny and Wheezy from Decisions, or their podcast Horrible Decisions. Why I recommend that is because I want you to understand that your pleasure is earned and that your pleasure is yours. And so I think those are two phenomenal books that you hear from other people's stories. And it also allows you to reflect and also have deeper insights on empathy for others as it relates to navigating love, romance, and sexuality. And I guess my biggest piece of advice as you're doing your own personal independent study is make sure that the authors and the researchers and philosophers that you are referencing see you as human in their research. Okay? I sit at the intersection of like Black history and love and Black history and respectability politics. Like, I am at the intersection for my scholarship, and you want to ensure essentially that you are also humanized in your love story, that the people that are conducting the research, that you are considered human. This may be like, oh, Khadija, that's obvious. I promise you, they've never done a study and considered you, or think that people that look like you process emotions differently or can feel pain at a higher tolerance level. That study is biased. So you want to make sure that you are listening to people that humanize you and that acknowledge you as human, that acknowledge your trials and tribulations and your struggles. And then last piece of advice is read poetry. I could recommend Nikki Giovanni. Love Poems is one of my favorite books. So also read poetry to soften your heart